there seems to me there seems to be this desire that we have to do whatever we can to get this man out of the White House, whatever we can to get this man out of the White House. When I see that, I didn't see that with George W. Bush. I didn't see that with Bill Clinton on his second term. I didn't see that with Obama on his second term. You just kind of, yeah, well, we got to make sure Romney wins. No, he lost. Okay, Bill, Bill O'Reilly and Dennis Miller went on a tour talking about what happened, or Jon Stewart and Bill O'Reilly were debating, oh, no, we got to get, Bush out because you guys got to be careful about what happens. Yeah, okay, Al Gore, okay, fine, no problem. But it wasn't like this. What is it about Trump that is gotten people that passionate to get him out? Is it because Trump's going to do something on second term with this QAnon that you're hearing about, a secret organization ran by two military former generals that are going to bring out the deep state? Is it because of what you're hearing about with Epstein, that maybe some things are going to be revealed, that two politicians video with Ghislaine Maxwell, that if it comes out? Is it because Roe v. versus Wade? Is it because of, Obamacare? What is the biggest thing where you're seeing this level of passion to say, is it fear? Is it something we don't know? What do you think it is?
I think it's a very, the reason it's so strange, the phenomenon you're describing, we call it Trump derangement syndrome, this kind of virus of losing your mind when the name Trump comes up. What makes it even doubly strange is many of the people who suffer the most acute cases of Trump derangement syndrome were massive Donald Trump fans in the old days. In other words, the same people who say things like Trump is a dictator, Trump is an authoritarian, are the kind of people who love Trump. When Trump would show up on Larry King, and Trump was on The Apprentice, and rappers were writing songs about Trump, and Trump was, there with Al Sharpton marching down, Fifth Avenue. So the irony about Trump is it's not that he's an unknown guy who's like come out of nowhere and people are really scared. This is a guy who's been a staple of American popular culture for 30 years. He's been a figure that most of us, people in America have grown up with Trump. Right. And there's something very all-American about Trump. Even his weaknesses are very all-American. He's like that kid who grew up in Queens where, even if you're some unimportant guy, if you attack him, he has to attack you back. He's just got that scrappy New York personality, which is so recognizable to anyone who lives in the city. So this is Trump. He is who he is. And I think that Americans didn't expect a guy like him. And he does threaten a lot of the conventional ways of doing business in America and doing politics in America, even in the Republican Party. This is the source of the so-called Never Trump movement. It's Republicans who thought that they had figured out a kind of a comfortable way of doing business. And it's almost like bringing in a new CEO into a company who comes in and goes, the reason we've been losing money is a lot of you aren't doing your job, and I'm going to be shaking things up from the inside. And immediately there's an effort to get rid of the guy because he poses such a lethal threat to all the comfortable, nuclei of power that have established themselves. All the competing fiefdoms go, oh, wow, here's a new guy in charge, and we got to push him out before he does any more damage.
I wonder if it's just that. That's what I wonder. I wonder if it's just that, because to me, that happens all the time. So the new CEO comes, he fires a bunch of people, he brings his own team. The old guys work and still stay in contact with the employees that are working at the home office, and they bicker and bitch, and some people still have some kind of a control. And then eventually they're over it because they have new problems, and a year later, 2 years later, everybody moves on, right? But this is different. You have to agree that this isn't just a guy coming in to, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what it is. And I'm a business guy. I'm not a guy that's in the world to know everything, to really dig deep and investigate to know what really is the reason why people are so afraid of him. What is it? Are we going to find out on the second term? I don't know. I don't know what's going on over there, but I'm just curious to know what it is.
Well, the surface explanations don't make sense because you listen to people who say on MSNBC, Trump is an authoritarian. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, Trump is bashed on every platform, every second of every day, right? If you tried to do that to, say, Mussolini, what would happen to you? first of all, goons would show up at CNN. They would beat everybody up and shut the place down. That would be the end of it. One time you do it, and then that's the last time. But with Trump, it's not the case. I mean, with Trump, people are speaking out with no fear. People are rioting with no fear. People are pulling down public monuments with no fear. So whatever Trump is, he's not an authoritarian. So I think you're right. There is something deeper going on, something that is a combination of, I mean, I think you mentioned some of the factors. Roe versus Wade, that's part of it, because there's a worry that the balance of the court will shift. I don't think it's going to shift that much, at least not anytime soon. Look at the way that Roberts, for example, has now taken on the Kennedy role of being the swing vote. So it's not obvious that the court is going to dramatically swing one way or the other. It's kind of precariously in the middle, which it has been for 25 years. But Trump gets them in a way nobody does. He has an effect on people that it almost has to be seen to be believed.